Ma Matangi Devi is the ninth Mahavidya among the Dasa Mahavidyas. According to Devi Purana, Ma Matangi has dark complexion and yet is lavishly elegant and beauty with very fine beautiful features. Devi Matangi resembles Devi Saraswati in appearance, especially the way she holds the divine musical instrument, the veena. But there is a significant difference in these two forms. Ma Saraswati grace is centered on more of sattvic form of learning such as fine arts, academics, mastery in language learning, etc. Ma Matangi is the tantric form of Ma Saraswati. The dhyana mantras in the Purashchandra and the Tantra Sara describe Matangi as blue in color. The crescent moon adorns her forehead. She has 3 eyes and a smiling face. She wears jewelry and is seated on a jeweled throne. In her forearms, she carries a noose, a sword, a gourd, and a club. The Dhyana mantra of the Tantrasara described Uchishta Matangi is one of the most popular forms of the goddesses. Matangi is seated on a corpse and wears red garments according to this Tantrasara. According to Kalidasa's Shamala Dandakam, Matangi plays a ruby-studded veena and speaks very well. The Dhyana mantra describes her to be a four-armed with a dark emerald complexion, anointed with red vermeil powder or kumkum powder, and a crescent moon on her forehead. The goddess Tripura Sundari is often described to hold the love of parrot and is imbibed in the nectar of songs. She is also associated in a green complexion with deep knowledge and is also the color of Buddha, the presiding deity of the planet Mercury who governs intelligence. Matangi is often depicted with a parrot in her hands representing speech. The veena symbolizes her association with music. Ma Matangi's sadhana helps in acquiring supernatural powers using tantric prayog, such as controlling people by influencing their minds, freezing their thoughts. The Devi also holds Japamala, a lotus, a shankha, and a chakra. All these together symbolize the interrelated aspects of sound, knowledge, and power. The sound of the veena represents creativity. The parrot that accompanies Matangi associates with speech. The meditation mala or the Japamala represents sound in the form of power of chanting mantra. These combined powers form the power of knowledge, and this is applicable to all aspects, skills relating to any field of learning. The more we know, the more knowledgeable we are, the stronger will be our hold on mastering that subject or skill. Ma Matangi is also popularly known as Uchishta Chandalini or Uchishta Matangini. Devi Matangi is the protege of all 64 forms of art, the Chatur Shashti Kalas. She is the one who bestows us with listening, speech, perception, learning, logical and analytical skills, reasoning abilities, and other important learning factors. According to a scripture, Dasa Mahavidya, Matangi is a word derived from 2 Sanskrit words, Mata and Angi, which means a thought or an opinion. Matangi is thus the goddess power which has entered into the thought or the mind and stays there for our benefit. She is the word as the embodiment of thoughts. She also relates to the ear and our ability to listen, which is the origin of true understanding that forms powerful thoughts. Matangi bestows knowledge, talent, and expertise. She is the goddess of the spoken word and of any outward articulation of inner knowledge, including all forms of art, music, and dance. Matangi is also related to Ma Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and the consort of Lord Brahma, who is the creator of the universe. Like Saraswati, Matangi Mata also plays a veena and rules over music or audible sounds in general, just the spoken word. She is the manifest form of song. She is symbolized by the rain cloud and by the thunder, as well by the river pouring into the sea. She is the vibratory sound, nada, that flows in the subtle channels, nadis down through our entire body and mind. According to the Upanishads, the essence of human being is speech. What we express through speech is the final product of all that we talk into ourselves, believing is true in life. This ultimate residue and representation of who we are through speech is Matangi. However, it is not ordinary or casual speech, but the deepest expressions of our hearts. The divine word has powers, feeling, and passion, which is not mere human emotion, but divine bliss. This is not merely a theoretical or practical statement, but an effusion of energy and delight. Matangi is a wild, playful, and ecstatic goddess. According to David Kinsley, he highlights Matangi Mata, who represents the ministerial power of the goddess. She is the counselor to Rajeshwari or Tripura Sundari Devi, the supreme queen of the universe. As such, she is called Matrini and has power over all mantras, particularly in their vocalization and articulation. She gives us the ability to communicate with all the other gods and goddesses through the power of the mantras. In fact, she rules over all forms of knowledge, counseling, and teachings. Worshipping Ma Matangi will help devotees to get attractive and magnetic personalities, sound articulation, and mastery over knowledge and skills. People can also influence others and gain control over their enemies through their speech. Her blessings can offer protection against many impediments like negative energies, marital discord, memory loss, stammering, and other effects. David Kinsley, in his book The Tantric Vision of the Divine Feminine, mentions earliest traces of Matangi arise in the story from the Divya Vandana, a Buddhist collection of stories. There is a story of a low caste girl whose father in law is said to be the king of elephants. There are parallels to Matangi's powers to attract and control, as well as distinct ties to nature. All these are important to Matangi as a goddess. However, they merely show hints of her characteristics, not a story of the goddess herself. With many more origin stories to follow, Ma Matangi has several different forms throughout various Hindu texts. Most often, she is a beautiful woman with dark or black complexion. She has beautiful long hair, the elements of nature around her, and intoxicating eyes. Matangi also is associated with the forest and nature. Many scholars say that Matangi is the goddess of the hunter tribes. They call her the one who lives in the forest, who walks the forest, who knows the forest, and called as Savari. Furthermore, Matangi is often said to be the daughter of Matanga, who was most likely a hunter, given her true lineage to nature. Matangi, as a goddess of the hunter tribes, gives them the tantric goddess power over living things residing within nature.